It's very gentle. There's nothing very aggressive, like a wasp that's trying to come after your ass and sting you. Like you do back in America.
I don't know
But
that
you know,
you know from over there. The only thing you have to really worry about, from my understanding, is that spotted dick. What is that? It's called goddess. It's called spotted dick. It's a dessert, and I don't know really what it is, but it sounds disgusting.
it's
That
not.
sounds delicious.
It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. It's actually a pretty nice dessert. It's not bad.
Have you tried it?
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but would you call for a little bit of spotted dick? No, not really.
Yeah, no.
Not today. No.
That's crazy, isn't it? But no, it's what I just I sit out there and I'm thinking, what this is just so weird. And so this was about 15 years ago, and now I've gotten used to it. I've gotten used to the fact that they don't happen. And it's strange. It's strange. It's a lovely thing, though, because you don't have to worry about getting bitten. As far as brown recluse spiders and all that stuff is concerned, nothing like that is here.
See, that's
snakes that bite you and kill you, nothing like that is here.
Wow.
And, bears that tear you up and mangle you and leave you for dead, nothing like that is here.
So what's there? The piranha
Well,
and the thieves?
Pretty much these beautiful little birds that come out and they try to make friends with you, which is really weird. Because now, back where I'm from, back in Memphis, all the birds are trying to get away from me because they're used to getting shot at by, folks like me. Hey, come here, boy, let me...
Right. Or if it's a blue jay, they're diving at you.
Well, the blue jays, they jive at you. And I think the reason why they're diving at you is they're trying to protect their nests. But whatever. But you don't really have blue jays. You don't have cardinals here. But what you do have is you have these little blackbirds that are about half the size of the blackbirds in America that try to become your friend. And what I mean by that is they come up to you and talk to you in your garden. They don't run away, and you just feed them little worms and things like that, and before you know it, they'll trust you and eat right out of your hand.
How precious.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and there's also little robins here that do that as well. They've got these now back in America. I know that there's the red-breasted robin that's very very common back in Memphis. But here in England, you got a red-breasted robin, except he's tiny. He looks almost like about half the size of a robin and a little bit bigger than what are those little birds the hummingbird, a little bit bigger than him.
Well, in America, everybody's bigger.
Yeah, no,
in America, everybody's McDonald's.
Bigger. Yeah, everything's bigger here. Everything's bigger in Texas, as they say. But the robin, he's a little bitty thing, and he'll follow you all over the garden, trying to eat out of your hand. He's called the gardener's friend.
The gardener's friend.
Yeah, he's always after you, he sits on your shovel, he looks at you,
Do you live next door to Snow White?
Probably.
I mean, come on, man. This is not like the knights in armor stories that I hear.
I know
it's closer to Snow White.
How
many little people do you have in your backyard?
Yeah. The hobbits, they live down the street from me. Yes.
The hobbits live. Okay, you're close to the Shire.
I'm in the Shire. I'm in the Shire. But I just thought I would point that out. I thought that's a strange thing that one of the things that I came across when I first came to England is the difference between England and America is that the bugs just won't come after you, man. And I'm thinking, well, that's great. And because, see, if you're used to it all your life, bugs coming after you and being bit by mosquitoes, especially if you walk down by the old Mississippi River, then you're expecting that's going to happen when you come here. But no, it didn't. It doesn't happen. And I'm very glad for that, actually.
Oh, absolutely. I live only 5 minutes away from the Mississippi River.
So there you go.
I mean, when I was young, my grandparents had a house right next to the Mississippi River.
Oh, well, you know exactly what I'm talking about then when it comes to the mosquitoes.
Yeah,
you know exactly.
Absolutely. I mean,
keep the barbecue going.
Yeah, some kind of fire with a lot of smoke.
Make the smoke happen, yeah.
And then you're squirting yourself down with, different things to keep the mosquitoes off.
Keep them off
or
here.
Whatever,
Yeah.
But the biggest mosquitoes I ever seen is when I went to Arkansas,
Yeah.
and I was close to the rice fields in Arkansas.
Yeah.
Those things were about the size of a golf ball.
They're big. They're big. Canadian ones are like that too.
Are they? I've
They're
never
big.
I've never been to Canada, so
Up in Toronto, they're big,
Yeah.
big mosquitoes. Yeah.
I was planning
go.
on going up to Canada, then they closed the border off. Basically,
They saw you coming.
Yeah,
Saw you
They're like,
coming.
no, you got to stay over here. Sorry about that. Yeah, no. Daddy Murray's got to stay over here. Keep an eye on that guy. You just never know what he's gonna do. Yeah, he's what a weird guy.
Keep him back down there.
Absolutely. So, Irish asked me, "Do you live in paradise?"
Well, you know what? I think I do because I'm in a place where you can go from here in 10 minutes in every direction. 10 minutes in one direction, I find myself in the small city, about third the size of Memphis, called Kingston upon Hull. And it's a seafaring town, and it's about 150 miles across the North Sea from Amsterdam. And then in 10 minutes in the other direction, you find yourself in the countryside, which the locals here call Dingley Dales, and which is a referral to a really beautiful little landscape that has these little berries and trees, and it kind of looks like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, man. It really does, and it's come to life. You're actually living in it, which is really really wild and strange. And really, the only things you have to worry about, as far as anything actually getting you, is a stinging nettle, which is a plant that if you run into it, it has these little spines on it, these little tiny spines. If they slap you on the arm or on the knee, it stings. It doesn't sting like a wasp or anything like that. It just kind of burns.
Is it kind of like a cactus, or?
No, it's kind of like it's kind of like a rash that stings. It feels like fire, and they have an antidote that usually grows right next to the stinging nettle called dock leaf, and you grab the dock leaf, and it's really weird that the antidote would grow right next to the one that causes you the problem, but that's what happens. And you just wad up a piece of it and put some spit on it and rub it against the place where it stung you, and it alleviates the pain. But that's really the only thing you have to worry about is things like that. And pretty soon after you've been here a while, you recognize them and you know to stay clear of them.
How many times did you get stung before you've recognized them?
When I first come here, I had a pair of shorts on and I dove right into the middle of a bunch of them.
Oh,
ouch!
I dove right into I was like running. I was running across the field with like a dog with me. It was a Staffordshire Bull Terrier, and her name was Sally, the little dog, and I was running with her across this little football field, and I jumped with her across these what I thought was a bunch of weeds, but they were, as soon as they slapped my legs, I went, "What the hell is that stinging, man?" And then it just got worse and worse, and the more I rubbed it, the worse it got. And I thought, "Oh my God, what is that?" And I was told what it is and what to do about it. So it happens, That's just.
Now, see, for everything here, we have to grab calamine lotion, which I have no idea what that stuff's made out of.
Yeah.
I've never seen a plant with any kind of pink goo that comes out of it. But we put calamine lotion on everything.
Yeah, that's true. And I've had loads of that stuff myself. A poison oak, poison ivy, all that stuff.
I remember when I was a kid, I don't know, I had some kind of hive or rash all over me from being out in the woods. And my grandmother got that bottle of stuff out and painted my whole body. I went to school as a pink boy. I looked like a giant bottle of Pepto-Bismol is what it looked like.
Yeah. It smells kind of good, though, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, I guess.
It kind of does, don't it? I mean, it kind of does, It's kind of in a weird way, but it does.
But, you go to school as a pink boy, you get teased.
Yeah, I imagine so, man. I imagine so.
I spent most of the day down in the nurse's office.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, it was great times. Oh, yeah.
Good old days.
About a week before then, I was in 7th grade, and about a week before then, this big old girl, she's probably 7 foot tall. She was a huge girl. She come running down the hallway and kicked me in the sack like a football.
Yow.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, yeah, I had to go to the hospital. She kicked me so hard. I didn't know her. It's just I was in her way.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Wow.
Just in her way. That's all it took, man. That's all it took.
Big old Amazon girl.
Amazon.
I mean, like a football player. Stocky, muscles.
Wow.
Farm. See, I was living down in southern Illinois with my grandparents, and I was going to a school that was actually in the middle of a cornfield.
Yeah.
And it was great. I mean, all the parents got together and brought in homemade food for lunch. So they had a big buffet of all this homemade fresh farm food and everything.
Wow. Yeah.
Every day. So, but yeah, she probably, if I remember correctly, her parents had a cattle farm.
Yes.
Something. So she was a very muscular person.
Yeah. If you work on the farm, you're going to be really muscular, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
I've met a few farmers over here, and they're real friendly folks. And when they reach out and shake your hand, it's like 2 or 3 of their hands make your one hand. But they're really friendly because here again as an American, I'm thinking, well, if I walk on their land, they're going to probably shoot me, because I'm trespassing on their property. But not so. That's not how it happens. What's really strange, another strange thing here, is that most of the public right-of-ways, which they called footpaths, which to you and me, Tommy, is going to be kind of like a trail that you would walk out, a trail that you would walk out in the woods.
Trail or a bicycle
like a nature
trail.
Exactly, a nature trail, yes.
Like
and these trails that they call footpaths have actually been there way before the United States was even born. We're talking a couple of thousand years, at least 2,000 years, and these paths are still there, and are they're not going to move. It's owned by the Queen, and if you own property surrounded by these paths, if one of these paths go through your property, then there's not a thing you can do about it. You just got to let people walk through, and that's just the way it is. Like one day, there was a path that walked right through. I mean, the map showed that the footpath actually walked right through diagonally across this person's sweet pea patch. And I thought I can just walk right through there if I want to, and it will ruin their sweet peas, And I thought, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm just not going to do that, But what I did do is I walked around, and the farmer came out, and they're friendly folk. They usually, they know that people are going to come around and walk and do the nature trails and so forth, and so they usually just tell you just if you respect their stuff, then they don't mind you coming through, And that's pretty much that way.
Well, I mean, that's what, life should be about, is mutual respect.
Yeah. Mutual respect,
Here in the United States, most people don't respect themselves, so they're not going to respect anybody else. And they're definitely not going to trust anybody.
Yeah, that's true. I'm sorry to say, but, and a lot of, I wouldn't say everybody, but most people.
Right. I hear up in Canada, they don't lock their doors.
Yeah, a lot of places they don't, and that's kind of like that was back in the 60s, back in Memphis when I was a kid.
Yeah. Well, even back in the, in the 70s when I was a kid, growing up in my old neighborhood here in this town that I live in, because I've lived here all my life. I've moved away for a couple of years and come back. You always go back home eventually.
Always go back home, yeah.
But I was going to preschool, and I had to walk 2 miles one way to get to preschool by myself.
Yeah.
I was, under 5 years old. 4 or 5, maybe 5, I don't know, but because you start kindergarten at 5. Yeah, so I was about 4 years old, walking like 2 miles one way to go to preschool. Nobody thought nothing of it. Do that now. No.
Yeah.
There ain't no way. Parents don't even let their kids in the front yard.
No way. There's no way. No.
I remember when my kid was little. He was very rambunctious and excited, and go to the zoo or something over here in St. Louis.
Yeah.
We had to get a harness to put on him with a leash because he had run off.
Yeah.
But that was just to protect him. That wasn't trying.
Well, sure. Yeah.
Now I got a few odd looks when we put a bowl of water down for him, but I don't think Goddess got that one.
I don't think so either.